In this video, I want to talk about why it's so important to get good sleep, especially if you are running a business. We need to get the right rest. A lot of people, you hear a lot of entrepreneurs say, you should only sleep, 4 or 5 hours. And of course, I get up at 5 or 6 a.m. on a daily basis, but, I'll go to bed early. So, my time to go into bed is around, 10:30. So you still get a good 6, 7 hours sleep. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you go to a little bit of bed a little bit later. So you do have those times. So what happens if that happens? Well, then you want to start taking naps during the day. So, if you need to recover that time, but you don't want that sleep deprivation and you got that sleep debt, which means every hour that's gone by and you can't really get that hour back, then you want to try and make it up as much as you can. A little tip that I would also say, especially for going to bed is, as entrepreneurs, we tend to work a lot. We're always on our phone or always on our computer. So maybe just an hour before, you're going to go to bed, don't look at the screens, don't look at the phones. And the problem is most people, they go to bed with this, right? It's the first thing you look at in the morning. It's the last thing you look at when you go to bed. Do you know how much more productive you'd be if you don't just check this thing? Literally, you'll get up in the morning and what happens is you start getting into what we call reaction mode. So you're always in reactive to other people's demands. Oh, send this, send that, and WhatsApp messages and Instagram messages and Facebook and emails and all the things just coming at once. And you're like, oh my God, I'm now inside somebody else's reality. So what you want to do, so a little tip that I use, 1 hour before you go to bed, and it doesn't always happen, but as much as you can, just have a little rule, like put this in another room. So I've got a little charger here. So normally people charge their phone in the actual room itself, in the bedroom. Well, you got a little charger in your office, just leave it in your office, and then you can do what you want to do in the morning: yoga, meditation, exercise, and then you come back and bam, now you have your phone. So this is a way to just kind of tell everybody, you don't want to get burnt out. And I've been there before, you're working. You just want to just take some step back. Why is this important? Because a lot of the times as an entrepreneur, you got to make informative decisions. And sometimes you get this foggy thinking where you're trying to do something it's not quite there, or you're trying to get this strategy going. It's just within arm's reach, and then it just disappears. So that's what we call foggy thinking. And again, if you do need to take naps, I find that if you haven't had the right sleep, then just a 15-minute nap. Don't go too deep sleep. What happens, just that little 15-minute nap will just reset the brain. I remember there's times where when I was touring around the world to Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, and back to the UK and back in different parts of Europe, there'd be times where I'd have to fly somewhere and literally I'd have to speak on stage and then come off stage, and then literally 3 or 4 hours later there'll be another set, and I'm like, oh God, and sometimes I would just sleep under the table, just get a quick 15 minutes power nap, bang, and then that just it's kind of like a reset button. If you think of your computer just gets busy all the time. And it's got all these things happening, and guess what? When you do a reset, then it operates a lot smoother. It's kind of like think of your brain like a computer. The computer gets it's processing so much data, and then your computer starts heating up, making those funny noises. The fan starts going off, and then all of a sudden you get this that blue screen that comes up, and then you got to turn your computer off. So this is what sleep's important. If you have 3 or 4 days where you're not getting sleep, then the next couple of days just make it up. So this is something that I'd recommend, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're like myself. I operate multiple different businesses, and so just getting that sleep is really important. And like I said, I do go to bed early and I wake up early. Sometimes that's not always the case, but most of the times, if you can plan it properly and you have that 1 hour routine before you go to sleep, and maybe you want to have the shower, you have a bath, or you maybe want to do some meditation, just listen to some relaxing music just to bring down your frequency, and just so you're I find breath work really works well. So, a lot of deep breaths. So you want to do some breath work. So, a little tip that I use is 3 seconds in, hold for 5 and 5 seconds out. So you might want to do that, on a regular basis, and just try it out. So this is some things that I do, and make sure that especially if you're getting into business right now, get that sleep, because it gives clear thinking and creates, makes it more decisive as well. So more decisiveness equals clear action, and clear action equals better execution, therefore your business doing better and becoming more successful. So hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next session. Bye for now.